hear from some employers about some exciting job opportunities in their area. And I'm actually going to stall for just a second or two here. We see a lot of folks are still logging in. And so I'm going to do a couple housekeeping items. First is audio. If you're having any audio trouble, there's two options. You'll see there's a phone number to dial in, and then you can also do it over your voice over IP directly through your computer. If you're getting any kind of feedback or any kind of audio trouble, you might want to go back and select the other audio options. So we want to make sure that you can hear all the employers that are on today. So the other thing is questions. Questions are an important part of these programs, and so do send the question. On the upper right-hand side, you'll see the opportunity to send questions our way. We're not sure if we can get to all of them today. Those that we will get to, you'll be hearing about, and then they'll be seeing copies of those questions. So if you ask a question that we didn't get to it today, someone can hopefully get back to you later with the answer to that. Also, you're going to be getting lots of information. Don't worry, you will be getting a recording. So about tomorrow this time, you'll get a link of today's recording. So lots of slides, lots of information. Don't worry, you'll be getting that recording tomorrow. So you'll be able to not only go back and review it again, but you can share it with others. So with that, let's get things kind of kicked off. I'm going to do a real quick kind of introduction of folks. Let me start with the person really largely responsible for putting today's program together from our Region 4 Workforce Board, Kathy Burns. Kathy, good afternoon.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Okay, and next up from ACUITY Brands, Carrie Stiff. Carrie, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And Indiana Packers Corporation, welcome Delilah Adams. Delilah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And also Calvin Bembry from Indiana Packers. Calvin, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. How are you?
Great, great, great. And LSC Communications, Katrina Pickett. Katrina, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And still have two more. Pace Dairy, Lori Holt is with us. Lori.
Good afternoon.
And Maria Perez Frias from Vanguard National Trailer. Maria, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so let's, I'm going to jump back to Kathy Burns. Kathy, tell us a little bit about Region 4 and the Workforce Board and the Work One centers, and tell us a little bit more about what you guys do.
Okay, well, welcome to our December virtual job fair. As mentioned, I'm Kathy Burns, your regional business consultant for our 12-county region. As you can see on the map, we do serve Benton, Carroll, Cass, Clinton, Fountain, Howard, Miami, Montgomery, Tippecanoe, Tipton, Warren, and White counties. It's quite a large region, but we do our best to serve all of the employers and job seekers. I want to thank our economic developers and the Indiana Department of Workforce Development for their support of this job fair. This year has been a really strange year, I think you can all agree, and challenging year for all of us. As a Workforce Development Board, we oversee the Work One system in our region, and we serve to support the needs of both our employers and our job seekers. And this job fair is one way of making those connections. You can find out more about us online. And with that said, I don't want to take up a whole lot of time today. We have a lot of good jobs to share with our job seekers. So with that said, thanks again for your time today, and let's get started with our job fair.
Okay, great. And so thanks, Kathy, and thanks for all you do. And again, there's another list of today's presenters. And what I'm going to do real quickly, we're going to do a couple quick polling questions. So this first one, I'm going to launch. Let me get that thing launched. It's asking. Let me see if it comes up here. First polling question asks. Okay, it's loading. We do these polling questions at the beginning. Okay, so actually it did not come up correctly. Hold on, let me try that again. So, okay, this next one, I'm actually, there was two, but the first one, this next one asked about what industry is your current or most recent employment. So really most recently, getting a little bit about your backgrounds. Want to know where you came in from. Again, no wrong or right answer here. Just wants to give a little bit of background information for folks that are on with us today. So keep this open for a couple more minutes or a couple more seconds. And we appreciate that. I am going to close it out and do that. And close that out. Let's see what the results are. Good mixed bag. Okay, so there's the results. You can see that, manufacturing fared the highest. Also retail and restaurant and hospitality was high. Logistics, no one currently on from healthcare. Again, no right or wrong answer. So that really helps us with the planning. So with that, hey, let's get into jobs. Again, special thanks to Kathy Burns. We'll hear from Kathy again at the end. But first, let's jump right in with ACUITY Brands Lighting. Carrie Stiff is the Human Resources Business Partner. Carrie, thanks so much for your time today. We'll be hearing from the rest of the folks later. But Carrie, let's jump right in. Tell me a little bit, tell the whole group about ACUITY Brands and in your community around your area.
Absolutely. So ACUITY Brands is a market leader and one of the world's leading providers of lighting and building management. So our corporate headquarters is located in Georgia, with operations in North America, Europe, and Asia. Our products range from individual lighting fixtures and devices to intelligent network buildings. The Crawfordsville location is the largest U.S. facility that we have, and we currently have just about 600 employees at this location right now.
Okay, 600 employees. Okay, so and then how long have you guys been in the Crawfordsville area?
49 years.
Oh my gosh, so you guys are a long time.
Next year. Yep.
Long time staples there. Okay, hey, let's talk about jobs. Let's jump right in and we got 5 employment opportunities I think we're going to talk about. So let's jump right into the first one. Let's see what Dave's got up his sleeve for us right now. So it looks like a focus factory cell leader position.
Yes, so we are highlighting 5 of our positions. There's definitely more than just the 5 we'll review here, but as you mentioned, Focus Factory Cell Leader, it's a production supervisor. We just kind of have a different name for it. Works directly on the manufacturing floor with the hourly workforce, supervise anywhere from 8 to 20 associates. Looking for somebody, prioritizes safety, quality, productivity, has high school diploma, GED, experience in manufacturing, previous supervisory experience is a plus as well.
And let me ask you real quick, because I think it might come into play on some of these other positions you talk about. When we mention shifts, we always get questions. Can you break that down a little bit on what those hours are?
Absolutely. So we run 3 shifts. Not all 3 shifts are ran within each department. And then each department may vary by 30 minutes. So roughly speaking, our first shift is 6:30 to 3. Second shift typically runs 5 to 1:30 or 4:30 to 1. And then our third shift typically runs 6 to 10:30. We do have one department that works 8:30 to 6:30. So slight variation between departments, but.
Okay. And let's start with this first one. Anything in particular you want to mention about benefits?
Yeah, we have a comprehensive benefits package, includes medical, dental, vision, 401k, paid time off, paid holidays as well. Pretty comparable between our hourly and salaried positions as well, short-term, long-term disability. We offer a vast package of benefits. Not everything's listed. We have insurance for pets as well that's offered. So large benefit package available.
I could use some pet benefits myself right now. So, okay, so let's jump to the second position. Tell us about the buyer planner.
Yeah, so buyer planner, in summary, manages the material within a focus factory. So they watch inventory levels, replenishment. They work with the floor supervision to help plan the day, what materials constraints they have. Our inventories actually ran on a Kanban process, so any knowledge or information that a candidate has around Kanban is huge. Again, looking for somebody with high school diploma, GED, knowledge of lean manufacturing, Kanban process, inventory management, et cetera. Same benefits offered across all positions as well.
Okay, and that's the buyer planner. Next one up is assembly cell operator. Tell us a little bit about what this job does, what you're looking for.
Yeah, so this is an hourly role. Basically, you're going to work in the production area, going to be standing on your feet all day, assembling fixtures, and then packing those fixtures into boxes or cartons. All operators obviously perform safety, quality, and inspections throughout the day. Again, qualified applicants are going to have high school diploma, GED, going to need to have a basic understanding of math, and then ability to pass a background and drug screen. This position starts at $15.40 with an increase every 30 days for the first I always get this wrong, first 5 months. So
Okay. Let's go to the next.
That would be our entry level position that we have here.
So that's one where somebody just is looking for a good job and is willing to learn and train, show up on time. Good position for someone like that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right, next position is the material handler. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this material handler, this position spends a lot of time on a powered industrial vehicle, so a forklift, or using a hand truck, transferring material from one area to the next. It could be taking finished goods from the end of a production cell into the staging area to get ready for shipping. The majority of the day, an individual that's a material handler is going to spend their time in one designated area, obviously based on workflow. This position starts at $17.12, and then increases would be on a yearly basis per our contract. Same qualifications would apply: GED, high school diploma, need to be able to pass a a drug screen and background check. And then we would probably put these candidates through, we would through training around the power trucks.
Okay. And Carrie, I had a question come in on the work weeks. Is it typically a 40-hour work week? What's the typical hour work week?
Yeah, that's a good question. So standard hours are obviously 40. We're going through a slight expansion right now, obviously, hence all the positions. So I would say employees are working an average of 6 days a week. So, 50 or so hours or more, depending on overtime within the departments.
Okay, and Carrie, while you mentioned that, just a real quick timeout. So things are going very, very well for you guys for ACUITY, right? It sounds like even in the midst of a pandemic, you need good quality workers. Things are going well.
Absolutely, yes. So we are actually bringing 3 new product lines into this plant over the next 3 to 4 months. So we are definitely growing.
It's exciting.
Which is good. Yeah.
And I think you have, is this the last position you're going to mention?
Yes, I do believe so.
Operator.
Yep.
Okay.
Paint setup operator. So this position works within our powder coat paint area. Tasks are going to vary. They're going to help load the line, take things off the line, pre-hang parts that they go on the conveyor that go through the powder coat process. There could be some sanding involved in this as well. Again, you're going to want high school diploma or equivalent. You do need to be able to have color vision to work in this department based on what it entails. Wages start at $17.84, and again, increases would be yearly within this position as well.
Okay, and as you mentioned, that was 5 different opportunities. So if somebody is interested in multiple ones, let's talk just a second about what do I need to do. So I think we got a slide here on next steps. I'm interested. What do I do?
Absolutely. So you can apply online and or email your resume over to us. My information, as well as one of my counterparts, Brooke's information, is listed on the screen. We both handle hourly roles. Myself and my other counterpart, Hernan, handle more of the salaried roles. Feel free to reach out to any of us. We'll get you to the right person. You can apply online as well. If somebody doesn't have a computer available, we do have computers here on site that are available if they needed to come here to fill out the application.
Okay, so I do have a few questions that came in. When do benefits start? And I think you mentioned about the benefits that you offer, but what's kind of the start time? How does that work?
Yeah, benefits start the first of the month following 60 days of employment.
Okay, so after 60 days. And then another question, I think you touched on this on a couple of them. You had the starting pay for most of these positions. And how do the raises work? I know you touched on that.
Yeah, so for the entry level, it's every 30 days for the first 5 months. For the other hourly positions within the contract, they're on a yearly basis per the contract. And then salaried positions as well are based on performance reviews on an annual basis.
Okay, fair enough. And do you work a lot of overtime? And if so, well, does there involve a lot of work on the weekends? What can you tell us about the work week?
Yeah, it's a good question. So as I mentioned, and we kind of talked about briefly earlier, we are expanding this facility. So the overtime is probably more than some would like it to be at times. I would say they're working 40 to 55 hours per week. There's more availability than that should somebody want it. So it does vary by department.
Before we let you go, Carrie, and again, we'll check back with you before we wrap up today. Some questions about the shifts. Are there shift differential pay? And then is it shifts some kinds rotating? Are they permanent? Can you work sometime on this shift, other times on that shift? Anything about the shifts that you can add?
Yep, good question. So we do offer a shift differential for second and third shift. And then as far as rotating shifts, you are assigned to a shift, and unless you were bumped based on seniority, you would always work the shift you were assigned. Okay. So you wouldn't rotate from week to week.
Okay, that's great. Well, thank you so much. Oh, before we go, I think we're going to ask this really of everybody today. Can you tell us before you leave, Carrie, about safety? I know with the coronavirus and the working conditions and all that, there's a renewed emphasis on safety. Anything has been any different the last 9 months than they were before? So what can you tell us about safety and the environment there?
Yeah, absolutely. So everybody that enters go through a temperature verification. So we all have our temperatures taken as we come in. Masks are required. Anytime you're within this facility on our property, you will have to have a mask on. We also are enforcing social distancing, so all of our positions, to the best of our ability, should be 6 feet apart as well. And then obviously all CDC and local guidelines we are following as well. The ever-changing world we live in.
Sure. Well, great, Carrie. Thanks for that. Okay, so that was Carrie Stiff with Acuity Brands Lighting. Thank you so much for that, Carrie. And again, we'll check back with you before we wrap up today. So thank you, Carrie. And next up from Indiana Packers Corporation, we have Delilah Adams and Calvin Bembry. Thanks for joining us, you two.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And, okay, so let's get started. Tell us a little bit about Indiana Packers and where you guys are located, and anything else you want to add about the community. And I think you guys are in Delphi and Lafayette. What else do you want to tell us?
Yeah, no, Indiana Packers is a global producer of pork. And first of all, thanks for having us here. Delilah and I are happy to be here. We're excited because Indiana Packers is growing. We're a growing pork producer. The Delphi facility is the corporate headquarters. We have 4 other sites located throughout the Midwest: Michigan, one in Frankfort, Indiana, Owensboro, Kentucky, and then we have a feed mill in Peru, Indiana. But we're excited. We're headquartered right there in Delphi. We have over 3,100 team members that we're excited about. And as you know, even in this pandemic, our business has continued to grow and thrive because even though less people are going out, more people are cooking at home. And so our business has continued to maintain and even grow in this year of the pandemic.
Excellent. And right now you got jobs. Things are going well. You need people to help fill these jobs, right?
We do. Delilah, do you want to talk a little bit about our jobs?
Yes, we do have several postings on our website. Mainly we have production for first and second shift. We are hiring individuals who wanted to work with us. We have a great benefit package, and mainly what they're going to be doing is helping to process our meat products, as long as they are willing to use cutting tools, knives. They will start at $16.55 per hour for first shift and $17.05 for second shift. We do base our wages on a skill, so the more you learn, the more you make. So
Okay.
as long as you learn more jobs, higher on skills, you will be making more money. And so you can go all the way up to $20 with 73 cents. So it's a pretty good pay for production. Right now we are working actually 6 days a week. This is our peak season. Mainly it goes all the way from fall until early spring. So we are pretty busy and going strong.
Okay. Anything anything specific you can tell us about each of those positions, the associate production position and the production supervisor? Any specific skills you look for, or is there training available for those willing to learn? This one right now we're seeing a little bit more about the associate production position. Anything else you want to be sure to point out here?
Yes, we do train our employees, so as long as they are willing to use cutting tools, work with raw meats, they gotta be able to lift 35 pounds, standing up on concrete floors, and obviously wear all the PPE, safety first. Yeah, but we do full train our employees. They gotta be able to work either in hot environments or cold environments, as our process require, pretty much.
What about the hours? Can you tell us a little bit about the shift hours, when those are? You mentioned 6 days a week. The time of day for those hours, the shifts?
Yes, we do have first shift. It starts between 6 a.m. until 7, depending on the position, and it will go all the way to 3 or 4:30. And then we have second shift. It starts at 3 p.m. and it goes all the way until 11:30 midnight, depending on overtime. Yes, and it will be the same if they are working Saturdays, it will be the same shift.
Okay. Calvin, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm going to. What about benefits? Benefits people always want to hear about. I think we got it mentioned there. Anything in particular you want to point out about your benefits package?
No, we've got a great benefits package, and I think another thing I want to mention, we got a great training department. We got a young lady named Laura, Maria, and Kiana. They do an awesome job. Michael Below, they do an awesome job of training. So someone can come into this job with no skill sets in the meat industry, and we can train them and have them proficient in a short amount of time. And so that's one of the things, and I know that's not what they call a core benefit, but it's a benefit because you learn the skill, correct?
Yeah.
And anytime you add to that skills inventory, it makes you more marketable just across multiple industries. But from a benefit standpoint, we offer health, dental, vision, 401k, plus that's a 401k with a company match. The other thing is we have a health facility on site. So right, maybe a block from the plant, we've got our own healthcare facility for if someone has something that happens in the course of the workday or whatever the case may be. In addition to the nurses that are in the plant, we have a health facility just about a block away, and we can send people over there. So that's also good. But also, you can use that for just a regular checkup. If you're got the sniffles or whatever, you can stop in there, and they can prescribe antibiotic. They can give you a splint. Maybe you had something with your foot or whatever. They can do all of those things. But our benefits are amazing. Also, we allow our employees to purchase meat at a discount. And so I don't know how many people out there like bacon, but if you like bacon, you can buy bacon at a discount for a lot cheaper than what you can get it at the store. So in addition to making a great product, you also get a chance to purchase that product and sample it and take it home.
Calvin, I may need to follow up with you on a bacon deal. So you got me there.
We can get you a BLT any day of the week. If you ever go into Hardee's and you taste one of their hot ham and cheese sandwiches, their hot ham and cheese sandwiches come out of our SFG facility down in Owensboro. So if you ever get a hot ham and cheese from Hardee's, you're eating one of our products.
Oh, great. That was great. I'm always very curious and sometimes reluctant to ask those questions is how can you relate your meats to what I might know? And you certainly hit that there. Anybody else you want to throw out?
If you do that, or if you go into Starbucks and you get a breakfast sandwich from Starbucks, that is also a byproduct of one of the core. Now in Delphi, we're the only ones that actually do fresh pork. Our other facilities do processed, but if you have a ham and cheese from Hardee's, or you get a breakfast sandwich from Starbucks, you're eating an Indiana Packers product.
Excellent. Hey, I'm interested. Oh no, real quickly, let's bring up that other position, the production supervisor. Anything else you want to bring in here? It looks like it's second shift.
It's second shift. Great opportunity. Starts off in the mid 60s, around 60, 65,000. Plus, you do get a chance to make additional money if you work overtime. So while it is salary, if you work over the 40 hours a week, you can make additional money. We look for people that are eager to train. We will even take people who have not been in the industry, and we will train them. We just hired a young man that came from automotive to come over and train with us, and he's doing an amazing job. So even if you have the skill sets, or you have a background in supervision or ex-military, we love to see those backgrounds, and we can definitely bring you in and put you into a role and help you be productive and help you to have a great career.
Okay, that's what we like to hear. I mean, we look at that as a career path. So, hey, and I'm interested. So next slide, I think, what are the next steps? The best thing to do next is?
Best thing to do is go to IndianaPackersCorp.com and apply online. We have an employment office in Lafayette where Delilah and I sit, and we'll schedule you for an interview. And once you come in, you'll fill out the application. We'll schedule you for an interview. We'll walk you through, have you take a pre-employment physical, and then we'll talk to you about the opportunity and all the different things. And if you're selected for the job, then we'll schedule a time for you to go on site. So we try to do things well. We also have taken all precautions for COVID-19. We split our orientation into segments. So we bring people in to complete their paperwork for benefits. Instead of bringing them in one big group, we brought them in smaller groups so that we could socially distance and make sure that everybody is safe. Okay,
you just answered another question that came in on safety. So all the safety precautions, you guys are already ahead of the game then, right? So
yes, and we do require a mask on site. We do temperature checks every morning. We have probably, oh my God, we probably got 35 or 40 just hand sanitizer stations just around the facility in different places. So yeah, we take this very seriously.
Okay. Delilah, I've already applied. I applied maybe a year ago. Should I reapply this time around if I'm interested? Tell me about that.
Yes. If you apply, we normally call you for production, normally within 48 hours to set up an interview. If you apply last year and for some reason they couldn't take the job, or they had a situation, they can reapply. We will process their application. Like I said, in 48 hours, you will be hearing from us.
Excellent. Well, that's it. Hey, thanks you guys so much for that. And that was Indiana Packers Corporation, Delilah Adams and Calvin Bembry. We'll check back with you guys when we're done. But hey, thanks for that. Sounds like you're hiring and things are going well. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is LSC Communications. Katrina Pickett is an HR generalist. Katrina, thank you so much for being with us today. And tell us a little bit about LSC Communications and the community there.
So LSC is located in Crawfordsville. We have been Montgomery County's largest employer since 1921. We have right about 1,000 employees right now. That's including hourly and salary. And we produce books, mainly Bibles and journals and school books.
Okay. And so that's kind of your niche market, and things are busy right now. I mean, are you guys been keeping very busy?
They are very busy right now. Most of our departments have been working overtime just about every weekend.
Okay. How many employees do you guys have?
We have right around 1,000.
My goodness. Okay. I had no idea you were that big. So, okay. So, hey, let's jump into some jobs. How many jobs are we going to hear about today?
I have
Six.
6 openings. Yep, 6 different
Okay.
ones.
Okay. Well, let's jump right in. The first one is
So the
forklift operator. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yep, it's a forklift operator. The starting rate for that is $18 an hour. And we are looking for someone with previous forklift experience, shipping and receiving, or just general manufacturing warehouse experience. They must be able to drive through narrow openings, be driving around a lot of people. Like I said, we have a lot of traffic with 1,000 employees. We're very busy. And this position is eligible for benefits. We have dental, medical, vision, 401k, and we also have an on-site health center that employees are able to start using on day one.
Okay, tell us a little bit about the shift hours. You mentioned benefits. What about shift hours? When does that cover? 5-6 day work week? How many hours about? And then how the time of day for shifts?
Yep, so typically we have a 3-shift operation that we run. So our shifts are 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., 3 p.m. to 11 p.m., and 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. In most departments, they rotate every 4 weeks. Because of COVID, some of our departments are working 6 to 2 or 6:30 to 2:30 to kind of stagger when everyone's entering and leaving the building.
I see.
So that's
okay. And there, I think you mentioned there is shift differential pay for those.
Yes, shift differential for second and third shift.
Okay. Anything else you want to point out on benefits before we move on? I see, you mentioned the family health center 1 month before it's paid, paid vacation and holidays. Anything else you want to mention there?
I don't think so. I think that covers just about all of the benefits. Yep.
Okay, a good package. And next up is a press assistant 2. Tell us what a press assistant does.
So the press assistant 2 position, we also sometimes call that a front end utility. They work in our 2-color press room. And this position is actually 12-hour shifts. So they work 4 days on, 4 days off. And they program robots to do a piling pattern for the bundles after they come out of the press. So they have to have some computer skills, be able to work well with others because they'll be on a 4-man crew. They'll need to take some initiative and, kind of be real go-getters for this position.
Okay. What kind of training? What kind of training can go with that? If somebody does have these skills, I assume there's some type of training program, right?
Yeah, so all of our press assistant 2s, they train everyone. We have actually what we call a report card, a training report card, and it's about 20 pages long. And there's different things that, we make sure we check off for each position that we have that all of our employees are required to turn in. And it really takes we say about 3 to 4 months to be fully trained. So once the employee has all of those boxes checked off on their new hire report card, they'll turn it back into human resources.
Okay, so somebody that's willing to come in, work hard, and train, this could be a good opportunity for them, right?
Yep, and plenty of room for advancement as well.
Okay, good. Okay, so next position is the bindery operator. Tell us about that.
Yep, so the bindery operator is the equivalent position to the press operator 2, just in the bindery department. That starts off at $18 an hour. And what the bindery operator will do, they are going to assist the head operator with make-readies, with running the equipment. So we'll actually train them to run a piece of equipment or 2 or 3, just depending on what the need is for the specific department that they'll be working in.
Okay.
So a lot of, lifting, working with other crew members. The crews could be anywhere from 2, the crew sizes will be anywhere from 2 people to 15, just depending on what machine that they're on for this. They'll need to know different paperweights and how it reacts with the machines. and the glue and just a whole bunch of different things. Mainly the training for this job, you learn as you go. We encourage you to have a notebook handy and able to write down and take really good notes.
Hey, Katrina, a question came in on, with 1,000 employees, I assume they're not all based in Crawfordsville. You probably have commuters. Give us an example of where people come in from around the area. How far out?
We have a lot, Fountain and Park counties. We have a couple of people that live over by Danville, Illinois that travel over.
Okay.
But mainly Montgomery, Fountain, Park. Some from Tippecanoe, not quite as much because the job market's a bit bigger up there.
Okay, I think that often tells a lot about the employer when people are willing to make a trip as a commute. So, okay, next position is the light equipment operator. Is that right, operator?
So the light equipment operator, this is in our bindery. So they actually work at the end of the binding line with a crew of about 3 to 4 people. They're responsible for making sure the finished product is packaged correctly with the proper outgoing load flags and make their way to shipping on time. So this person needs to be very detail oriented, need to know some basic math skills. They also need to work well with others as they're kind of leading the crew on the end of the machine. They'll have to follow step-by-step instructions in order to make sure our customer gets exactly what they're asking for on their outgoing loads.
Okay, I did have a question come in, Katrina, about the education requirements. Can you speak to that, and as if a high school diploma or HSE is required?
So we actually do not require a high school diploma or equivalent for any of our positions or any of our hourly positions. Most of them are really just based on experience. And
Okay.
It doesn't have to be experience within LSC, but as long as there's some sort of manufacturing experience that we can, butt up to this job and similar skills.
I'm glad you mentioned that. That's definitely a trend we are seeing around the country, is that people that are willing to work hard and train, that high school equivalency isn't necessarily a requirement at more and more places these days. So thanks for mentioning that. And anybody that's interested on getting that high school equivalency or diploma that may be lacking, I know that Kathy Burns in our Region 4 can help with that and at no cost. So, hey, thanks for that. And I think we got another position coming yet, right? Material handler, what does this job do?
So the material handler is actually our entry-level position. We have material handler for the bindery and the press room. This needs to be a very versatile person because our material handler does several different jobs. They feed, they stack books, bundles, loose paper. They need to be able to move, jog bundles to make them look nice, unload and load items off of a skid or from one piece of equipment to another. And they need to just be able to follow basic instructions from an operator or from a supervisor.
Okay, and I think we have one more, was that it?
Yep, one more position. It's our weekend warrior position. This position is weekends only. They're able to work Friday from 11 p.m. through Sunday night at 11 p.m. And it's our weekend warrior is just for to fill the material handler position. So it doesn't need any special skills or anything like that. And this position starts at $16 an hour. And the only difference is this position is not able to use our benefits package.
Okay, I imagine that the job hours vary on these, and if people need time off, they can just work as they can. Is that it?
Yeah, so when we hire our weekend warriors, we kind of ask them how often they want to work. And we have a scheduling software, and it just sends them a text message when we have shifts available. And they just respond back saying, yes, I can work. But most of them work at least every other weekend. Some we have that work a consistent every weekend schedule.
Okay, and I assume accountability and dependability is really important there, as they are with all positions.
Yes, we do ask if someone comes on as a weekend warrior and they sign up saying that they can work a shift, that they try to give us at least, 3 or 4 hours, because we understand sometimes things come up, family emergencies, things like that, and you might not be able to fulfill your requirement. But so we do ask that you try to let us know if you're not available.
Katrina, I'm interested. What I need to do next? What are the next steps I need to take?
So you can go online to our website, which is lsccom.com, and apply. We can also be reached, my phone number, and I have a work cell that you can text. We're finding out with some of the younger generation, it's easier to reach them by text message. So that's something new that we've started.
Sure.
You can email me your resume, but we would need an application on file if we're going to move forward with the hiring process.
Okay, and same question I asked the others. If I've already applied before, should I kind of start over and rewind and come in new again?
Yes, you should. We typically post new jobs about every 30 days, and our system has no way of me going back and looking who's applied previously. So if it's been about 30 days and for some reason the position didn't work out or you accepted another job, please reapply. We try to contact everyone within 24 to 48 hours of the time that they've applied.
Okay. Thanks, Katrina. I do have a couple questions before I let you go. And anything I asked about questions about the culture at LS Communications. Any exciting things happening there you want to share with us?
So right now we just recently added a few new pieces of equipment over at the North Plant, which is located off of Sloan Street here in Crawfordsville. I haven't mentioned this yet, but we do have 2 facilities here in Crawfordsville. One we call the North Plant and one we call the South Plant. So the North Plant, we're actually putting several thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars into to try to renovate that and make it be, more pleasing to the eye for our employees, for our customers. So we've just got some of that going on right now.
Okay, and last question on safety. We're having everybody kind of touch on during COVID times, things that you guys are doing to keep employees safe.
Yep, so right now we have a mask mandate in place. Everyone that is in our facility must have a mask on at all times, unless you're, eating or drinking or in your office by yourself. We have hand sanitizers by all of the doors, so you can put hand sanitizer on before and after you go through doors. We have extra cleaning supplies. We have wipes. We have some special spray that you can wipe the highly touched places on the machine with. And we're just encouraging those cleanings to be done, 2 or 3 times throughout the shift to try to help with the spread of COVID. So.
Okay, well, great. That is, thanks for doing that. That's it. Katrina Pickett with LSC Communications. Katrina, thanks for your time this afternoon. We'll check back with you again at the end. Thanks for that.
Okay, thank you.
And next up is Pace Dairy, Lori Holt. Lori is the Assistant HR Manager. Lori, good afternoon.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for joining us. And tell us a little bit about Pace Dairy and the community there.
Okay, well, Pace Dairy is a Kroger company-owned cheese manufacturing plant. We're located here in Crawfordsville. We also have a sister plant who is slightly older than we in Rochester, Minnesota. We've been here since 1982. One of the things that I want to make sure I get a plug in about that I try to share every opportunity I get is that since 1982, since the doors opened, we have never had a layoff. We're very proud of that.
Wow.
Pardon me?
As you should be. That's excellent.
Thank you. Yeah. And we have about 350 employees right now. We run 6 days a week, well, 7 days a week, and I'll explain that here in a minute. The other thing that I'm very proud of about Pace Dairy is when we talk about safety, and I may get ahead of myself here, we don't just talk about safety, we live it. We have had 7 years, not consecutively, but we've had 7 years without a lost time or recordable accident.
Wow.
And in that size, we're very proud of that.
So safety has been a priority long before COVID, and you've been living that for quite a while there in your culture, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. As a matter of fact, the interesting thing about the whole COVID thing is a lot of the sanitation procedures aren't any different for us. We did our game as far as we hired a few extra people to come in and clean common touch points throughout the plant. But as far as like, we added a few sanitizing stations in the common areas, but frequent hand washing and that sort of thing has always been something that we do anyway. So it was a fairly easy transition for us.
Okay, and tell us just a second here where you're located in Crawfordsville, and do you guys feed the Kroger stores where? I mean, is it statewide, a certain part of the state? Tell us a little bit about your reach.
We're located at 800 North Englewood Drive, which is 47 North, headed toward Darlington out of Crawfordsville. We're on the right-hand side right there. And we serve pretty much most of the Kroger stores west of the Mississippi for most of our cheese products. However, we do have 3 natural cheese slice lines, and those three lines accommodate all the stores coast to coast. And for those people who are familiar with Kroger, we have a lot of banner brands. So some of the things, Food for Less, Ralph's, you might hear a lot of different names, but those are all under the Kroger brand. So
I did not know that.
we do have those. Pardon me?
I did not know that. Thanks for adding that.
Yeah, we have stores from coast to coast, and that's another attraction for working for a company of 450,000 plus employees. When you decide that maybe you need to move or you want to relocate, or your spouse or significant other gets relocated, when you work for the Kroger company, chances are we can find you something somewhere else.
Oh, well, good. Thanks for adding that. So, hey, let's talk about jobs. How many jobs are you going to talk to us about today?
Well, I think I just put the one on there, but we have several open. And I do want to quickly, before I forget about it, mention that we do have another position open for resource leaders, which would normally be known as a supervisor in production. This position is going to be an off shift. It's going to be a 12-hour shift. And we have a 4-on, 4-off schedule for the 12-hour shifts. But we are looking for a resource leader for production. So that's one thing I wanted to get in there real quickly.
Okay, and then the primary position you're going to talk to today is a machine operator on the production team, right?
Yes, we have several openings for our production team, and we recently adopted a high performance work system theory that we are utilizing and moving into full speed ahead. And what that means for people who are applying is that historically you would come in and you would do a job, and you would be in that job until you bid into a different job. The way this works now, you'll come in, you will be placed on a line team, and at your pace and at the pace that we can accommodate you, you will be trained on every line on that team. So we've found, especially for some of the younger folks, that this is very appealing, because you don't get bored, you're doing something different all the time, and you have the opportunity to make some really good money in a relatively short period of time. And when I say that, there are some variables that make that dependent on, how many people do we have on the team? How we got to have the trainers, we have to have enough people on there. But the Tech 2 rate, which is where we want everybody to be, hopefully within the next few years, you'll start out at $18.70 and you can make up to $24.50 in just a few years.
Okay, Lori, let's talk a little bit about a couple things that came in on what those shift hours are, and then training for this machine operator, somebody willing to come in and put in the time and show up on time and pass the checks and balances. what kind of training is going to be available, and then a little bit about the shifts.
Okay.
You mentioned 4
So-
days on, 4 days off, and specific hours.
Right. So we do have some second shift, which is Monday through Friday openings. And those are 2:30 to 10:30. And it's all the same theory. It's all the same high performance work system. So you're going to still be on a team, just like I explained before. So we have some second shift openings, again, 2:30 to 10:30 p.m. We have some third shift openings at 10:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. And then what we really are focusing on is our 4 on 4 off, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. is where we need the most people. So on top of the 1870, there would be a shift differential in there for those shifts. And if you stay on that 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift for 2 years, we'll give you a $2,000 bonus.
Oh, okay.
So it's 4 on 4 off.
Okay.
So if you work, yeah.
And for somebody who likes to have some extended time off, that's almost like a mini vacation baked in there every time you're working, right?
Yes, yeah, we've had a lot of people talk about how much they like having those 4 days off. Now, I will tell you, just like everyone else who has talked so far today, we are super busy. We used to have kind of peaks and valleys, but anymore it just seems like we're busy all the time. So most of our folks, even the ones who are working 4 on 4 off, are working at least a 5th day.
Okay.
And there's also more overtime available for people if they want it.
And making even more money as a result. Yeah. Hey, tell us about, I'm interested, Lori, what do I need to do? What's my next steps?
So you go to jobs.kroger.com and it's very easy to navigate. You're going to navigate to the Crawfordsville jobs. It's very important that when you'll put in you can put in the zip code, or you can put in Crawfordsville, and it'll come up. Navigate to the machine operator production team member. And that's what you're looking for. Fill out the application. We encourage you always to attach a resume. You don't have to, but it's highly encouraged. And that's all you got to do.
Okay, and you guys have been there for a while. So if I've previously applied in the past, should I just kind of reload and start over?
Yes, we just reposted this job, and so you would want to go in and reapply, yes.
Okay, and I do got a couple more questions before we let you go, Lori. Wants to know about discounts. That's a good question. Will I receive a discount on my Kroger purchases when I become a PACE associate?
That is a great question, and yes, you will. Once you become a PACE associate, you'll bring in your Kroger loyalty card, and we'll take the number off the back of that, and we'll put you in the system, and you will get a 10% discount on all Kroger items every time you go to the grocery store.
Well, over the course of the year, that's a nice benefit to offer. Anything you want to add about the 401k company match? When do you become eligible, and anything else you can share about that?
So you can start contributing to the 401k shortly after you become a team member. The company will start matching on your 1-year anniversary. We match dollar for dollar up to the first 5%. So
Okay.
it's a deal.
The similar question that somebody else had answered. You did a nice job of covering the safety already, but can you touch on education and is there an HSE requirement, high school diploma requirement, or not? That was another question that came in previously.
Well, I'm going to have to tell you that this is a terrible answer for something like this. We've been talking recently about taking that requirement away, and I'll be 100% honest, I can't remember whether we've done it yet or not. I know it's in the works, not yet. So I do apologize if that's a terrible answer.
Well, but somebody's interested, regardless, they should get a hold of you today and start the conversation.
Yes,
Okay.
if you are interested, please apply. We'll be looking at everybody's applications.
Well, thanks, Lori. Thanks for that. And that's Lori Holt with Pace Dairy. We appreciate that, Lori. We'll check in with you one more time before we leave. And let's move on to the last employer for today, Vanguard National Trailer Corporation. Please welcome Maria Perez Frias. Maria, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Great. And tell us a little bit about Vanguard National Trailer and where you guys are located.
Okay, well, Vanguard National Trailer is a premier manufacturer of dry and refrigerated semi-trailers. We've also started trailers as well. We're a subsidiary of CIMC, which is located in China. We have a few facilities available or few facilities in Monon. We also have a location in Trenton, Georgia, Moreno Valley, California, and then our parent company, CIMC, over in China.
And your guys, I assume you have your trucks and the thing that you guys do all around the country, right? Around the globe, I guess.
Yeah, around the globe for sure.
And let's talk a second about jobs. I mean, that's what everybody wants to know about. How many jobs are you going to talk about today, Maria?
We mainly wanted to talk about our general assembly position, which is an entry level position. You don't have to have experience. We do prefer some manufacturing background, but we are willing to train. We do not require a GED or a high school diploma.
Okay.
We really have a lot of areas that these associates can work in. We have, like I said, different facilities in Monon. Off the top of my head, I know 6 of them, 7, I want to say there's 7 facilities that we could work them in. We have our aftermarket warehouse, which is more of a shipping and receiving. We have a regular warehouse where our material handlers are located. Plant 1 is our largest facility. This is where mainly all our assemblers are located. There's different departments, different advancement opportunities within that facility. We have a plant which they do the flatbed assembly. Most of our welders are located there too. OEX does all our axles, our bogies. So there's different assembly positions. There's different areas. Some of them have different schedules that they can work. Some work better with other people. Some of those are Monday through Friday. Some are Monday through Thursday. We do have a weekend shift. Currently, we don't have any openings in that, but sometimes there are some availabilities to move throughout different positions if you bid for them.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about shift hours. Can you break that down, Maria? Is that the same across these different positions, or does that vary?
It varies by plant with each facility. So our aftermarket, we are currently hiring there. You start off as an assembler. Based on your experience, we let you know the openings, the hours, see what best works for you. And if we feel like you meet the criteria and that's the best match for you, then we will place you. So an aftermarket, like I said, is our shipping and receiving. That's Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And there is a second shift available there at that facility, which is Monday through Friday, 3:20 p.m. to 11:50 p.m. We have most of our plants that do the assembly portion is Monday through Thursday, 6 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And second shift would be 5 p.m. to 3:30 a.m. There's a different schedule there, which is Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And that's the only first shift available in that plant.
Okay, tell us a little bit, Maria, about benefits. I see the word bonus in there a lot. So what do you want to point out about benefits? And tell us about those bonuses.
Yeah, I would say our benefits plan is very good. It's very affordable as well. So we offer health, dental, vision, 401k, paid holidays after 60 days, vacation time accruals start at the beginning of your 5th month. We have a $15,000 company paid life insurance, clean trailer bonus. This is going to be anybody that's working in the assembly positions. They get a monthly bonus, normally the middle of the month, depending on the amount of hours. It's based on quality. We have a referral bonus too for employees to refer their friends, their family. So once they meet the 90 days and 180-day mark, get a bonus for referring that individual. If you've never worked for the company before, we also have a new hire bonus. You have to successfully complete your 90 days. You get $200 there. You complete your 180 days, and you also get $200. And we also have a weekly attendance bonus. As long as you have worked your complete work schedule, if you worked Monday through Thursday, say your schedule was 6 to 4:30 Monday through Thursday, as long as you showed up on time, you didn't miss work at all, you've not accrued a point, you didn't leave work early, you get $1 extra per hour that you work.
Okay, so ways to really build up. Somebody comes in willing to work hard, you can make more and more money. Tell us a little bit about, I'm interested. So what do I next to do, my next steps? So what do I do next?
Sure. So obviously, I know that you've asked if you've applied before. We do keep your applications for 2 years. We always want to see if you've worked anywhere else, if you've improved your skill sets or have gained more experience. Maybe we have a higher paying position available at the time. But if you're just interested, you can apply online, email me your resume, you can apply in person. We will keep your applications for at least 2 years, so we can always go back and take a look at it if needed. I also have a text line where you can text me, and if you're interested, normally we give that out to our corporate office at this time. Our corporate office is closed, so we're not doing applications in person, but they do have a line where they can get a hold of me if needed.
Okay, Maria, another question we've been asking the others, and this came in from a couple people. What can you speak to on the safety side, the safety environment, and how that may have changed over the last year?
Yeah, within the last year, obviously all our employees are required to bring a mask with them or a buff at all times when they're coming into the facilities. If they are within 6 feet of an individual or another associate, they need to have a mask on. Anybody that's wanting to sanitize their tools, we have a sanitizing station for our tools and hand sanitizers within all the different facilities. Okay.
And you had mentioned really there's a range of jobs there. So the first thing to do is get online, apply, talk to you guys about maybe where the best fit is. And it sounds like there's a lot of opportunity for growth and for somebody that may not necessarily have a world of experience but is willing to show up on time and train, right?
Yeah, definitely. There's always opportunities for advancement.
Okay, so I think that's it. So thanks. That's Maria Perez Frias with Vanguard National Trailer. Thanks for that exercise and that description. We've hit the top of the hour and ran over, but this has been excellent. And I do want to bring everybody back on for just one more final comment, see if anybody else has anything else to add. I do want to throw this last one out before we jump off. And it has to do, we get this occasionally on second chance hires, people that may have had some issues in their earlier lives with employment or something on the personal side, but there are things as second chance employers. Anything special any of you want to mention with people that may have had a little bit of a criminal background at one point? Anybody want to mention anything specifically about their hiring? It's a quiet group, Kathy. They went quiet right away on us. So, hey, let's run up and down the. We just heard from Maria. Maria, any nice job today? Lots of going on there. Any final comments from you?
I think really the only thing I forgot was we have a new increase program. So it's called a quarter for quarter program. So you will actually get an increase every calendar quarter that you complete within the company. So our starting pay goes up to $12.75 if you're including that attendance bonus. We have the shift premiums for all of the second shifts. But you also get that quarter per quarter every single calendar quarter that you complete.
Okay, and again, that's Maria Perez Frias with Vanguard National Pace Dairy. Lori Holt. Lori, any final comments?
Yeah, I just want to mention we are climate controlled. We do provide uniforms for all of our associates. The atmosphere is a very clean atmosphere. We do have company paid life insurance up to 1.5 times your annual wage. And finally, we have a tuition reimbursement program through Kroger, as well as a special partnership here with Ivy Tech, where you want to go back to school with this program we have with Ivy Tech. You may be able to do that without even putting any money up front. So those are just some things that I wanted to mention that I failed to last time. So thanks for the opportunity.
Sure. Thanks for adding that, Lori. I know we do a lot of work with Ivy Tech, a lot of great things going on there. Thanks for adding that. LSC Communications, Katrina Pickett. Katrina, any final thoughts?
I don't really have anything to add. I just wanted to say thank you for putting this together, and I'm glad it looks like a few people have joined in today. So I can't wait to see applications start coming through.
Great. And we again, just a reminder for everybody. Tomorrow at this time, you'll be getting a link to the recording that you can go back and review and again share with others. The Indiana Packers Corporation. I know Delilah, I see, is still with us. I'm not sure if Calvin Bembry is still on, but any final comments from Indiana Packers?
Yes, thank you for having us. Again, if they want to apply, they can go to indianapackerscorp.com. We will answer within 48 hours, and we are here to answer any questions. Our phone number for the recruitment center here is 765-464-6719. Thank you.
Thanks, Delilah. And starting off the employment opportunities today was Carrie Stiff of Acuity Brands Lighting. Carrie, any final thoughts from you?
Absolutely. Again, thank you for putting this on. Acuity has a number of positions available. As I mentioned, we're expanding this location. We as well offer tuition reimbursement, and then advancement opportunities are really endless within Acuity. What you put into it is what you get out of it. So lots of room to grow here.
Excellent. And with that, I need to thank you guys, because you guys did a wonderful job today. A lot of exciting opportunities in your part of the state. And we thank everybody for registering with us today and being part of this program. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to close today's program. The person that really made all this happen was Kathy Burns with our Region 4 Workforce Board. Kathy, thanks again for all you do. The floor is yours.
Yes, I won't take much time because we are a little bit over, but I wanted to thank everybody for their time today. We have wonderful opportunities for employment, so I hope everybody gets online, gets their applications going, and I hope everybody has a great week. Thank you. Bye.